So we'll kick off by just doing a quick overview of Office 365 so we understand where we're going from, or starting from, and then I'll move us into the Power BI solution that we're focusing on today. So, the other thing, I'd like to apologize in advance. I'm going to kind of be focusing straight on instead of kind of looking at everybody either way. So if you have any questions and I don't see you, let me know and we'll stop and we'll answer. But first of all, when we talk about Office, you think of Office as an umbrella that has a number of different products. And we break it down into two basically tiers, one being the cloud subscription, the other one being perpetual, which you might be utilizing today. And so by perpetual, we mean that it's actually on-premise, you install it on your device. Compared to the cloud subscription, you have the ability to install those applications on your device. So there's so much more that's provided with the cloud solution. So the way that you can easily tell which one you have, if you have Office 365, when you look at your PC, that means you're in the cloud. And if you see, for example, Excel 2013 as the name of your product, then that says that you are on premise. So again, Office 365 denotes cloud, and then the product name with the version 2013 is the most current, and that says that you're on premise. So on premise, you have the ability to install on one device. If you need to upgrade, then you manually go over and you do an upgrade, or you have an IT staff that's able to deploy upgrades to your environment.
Excuse me, quick question. Can you run mixed environments?
We do have folks that are doing, for example, they have a need to run a Rich Client 2010 version. And also, as you know, or may not know, with Office 365, we are running 2013 there. So there's an example of being able to run, both at the same time if you need it for compatibility purposes. But when we talk about Office 365, you have the ability to actually take the software and install it on 5 PCs and 5 Macintoshes. So right there you can see that there is a benefit in terms of the cloud capability. And on top of that, you can also install it on mobile devices as well. So an example, here of course I have my Windows Phone that I have Office installed on. And I also have a iPad mini that I have, as well as a Surface device that I utilize, depending on what the need is. And I have the Office installed on all of those devices for the one cost, the user subscription for one user. So that's a real nice benefit. If you think about it, we have the new generation of workers that want to be able to bring in their device from home, bring your own device, right? Consumerization of IT. I know we're all familiar with that. And so here is the opportunity to be able to accommodate those users for the cost of one individual. The next one is the whole ability to roam. So what that means is, if I can actually be on the bus and I can produce a document on my phone or my slate, and I can, by storing it, by the virtue of storing that information in the cloud, when I get to the office, then I have accessibility or access to it, because you're able to roam not only your documents, but also your settings, if it's appropriate. So another benefit in terms of actually Office 365 and running in the cloud. The next one is that whole upgrades. So upgrades are automatically pushed to the users by being in the cloud, so that you don't have to spend the time. If you think about how much time it takes you to actually install on each one of the devices that you have, you no longer have to do that. It's a very easy installation for downloading what I call a rich client application, and that's in addition to what we call the web-based version of the same software. So by easy install, I can either go up to what we call the portal, and I can download a version of Word, Excel, Note, OneNote, for example. I mean, there's just a huge choice of the productivity applications that you can download. Or if you do have an IT person in your organization, you have the ability to have them actually push those applications down to you as well. So a lot of options there. Office on demand, this is nice if you have workers that travel. So what we're saying here is that I can actually walk into the airport, go to a kiosk. If I need to work on a Word document, I just log in with my Office 365 username, and I can download temporarily that Word document, make any changes that I need to make, save the document back up to the cloud, and then when I walk away in an hour's time, that application disappears from that kiosk. So that's what we mean by Office on Demand, the ability to download regardless of where you are. And then finally, that whole saving to the cloud. We just introduced, we provide 1 terabyte of storage per user that you can utilize, as well as additional storage that we provide for access via our collaboration platform, which is called SharePoint. So let's take a look at what you actually receive as part of Office 365. So I've been kind of focusing on the Office 365 Pro Plus suite. And so as you see, we just talked about the ability to install multiple devices. There are a number of different applications. But also, and in fact, you may be working with Exchange Online currently. Exchange Online is provided as part of the Office 365 platform. I'm focusing on a SKU we call E3. And that's kind of what we call our hero SKU, if you will, because it does give you the most flexibility in terms of what you can do with Office 365. So of course, Exchange Online is very easy to, if you're currently using another product for your mail system, it's very easy to migrate you to the cloud. And as you can see, you have 50 gigabytes of storage for your mailbox and a lot of functionality that's available and a lot of interoperability between these devices too. SharePoint Online is a collaboration device, and so what I see a lot of companies initially doing with SharePoint is using that, for example, for collaboration between project members, team members, as well as you can use it as an internal or external site for your users to go to. And I know within Microsoft, for example, we use a SharePoint site for what we call IT Web. And what that does is for the entire organization, it provides anything that has to do with IT. So that all users always know if they have a question about IT, they have a question about software, PCs, etc., they always know to go to this IT website. And that really saves a lot of time from a productivity standpoint. And then there's a lot of customization that is available. There's workloads that you can set up with SharePoint. You have the ability to actually track your changes for documents. So just a great collaboration site. And then finally, Link Online. So this one is provides not only what we call user presence, and by user presence, you can very quickly see the status of an individual that you work with, the contact. So let's say, for example, they're in a meeting. This is part of the integration with the calendar that's part of Exchange Online. When the user goes into a meeting, they'll actually, their status will change to red, which says, do not bother me. And so when the meeting is over, it will go back to a green, which says I'm available. We also have other status settings, such as I'm away, I'm offline, that type of thing, so that as you're collaborating with your workers, you know very quickly, can I bother them, or can I invite them into a meeting, which is another part of Link Online. It really allows you to collaborate and to hold meetings remotely. And I really like that one. So we think about, how many customers we need to see in a day, and do we really have the time to go to each one of their locations? Well, in fact, Link provides a really nice solution in that you can dial them up, you can actually run videos so that you see all the users that are participating in the meeting. They don't need to have Office 365 to collaborate. You simply send them an invitation as part of the Exchange calendaring system. They just click on a link and then they're part of the meeting. You have the ability to share PowerPoint slides, for example, that everybody can see. Everybody can participate on things like a whiteboard, so if you're having a brainstorming event, everybody can participate that way. So this is provided as part of the Office 365 scenario. All of these different items.
So back to the 365. It says 5 PC, 5 mobile per user.
And then again, keep in mind that that is the rich client app, but you also, if you so desire, have the ability to interface using what we call a browser or web-based, and that's called online. So online is the same application, they function exactly the same, but you have that flexibility. Do you want to just connect in using the browser, based on where you are, or are you in an area where you just don't have the connectivity, so you can continue to be productive because you can work with a rich client app, and then when you do connect, it will automatically sync, for example, the document that you've been working on. So just the best of both worlds there.